Miller Mahdi with 8451 here. Welcome to another episode of The Upload. We're glad you're here. Each month we dig into the world of AI, thick data, machine learning, data science. We invite you to stick around and let us know what you think. Keep an open mind and stay curious.
Welcome to The Upload. I'm your host, Dan O'Keefe. Today we're talking to Erica Penrose and Logan O'Neill. Welcome to The Upload, guys.
Thanks, Dan. Happy to be here.
Thank you, Dan. Very excited to talk with you today.
Well, I'm excited to talk with both of you. And as always, we'd like to welcome our listeners and viewers who are tuning in from home or their offices back to yet another virtual edition of The Upload. We're continuing to take all the proper precautions to stay safe and healthy, and we hope everyone out there is doing the same. So today we're very happy to welcome 8451 Solution Design Consultant Erica Penrose and Senior Commercial Solutions Consultant Logan O'Neill to talk about Thanksgiving in the age of COVID and how COVID-19 will affect the holiday this year. And first off, happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully everyone still enjoys a turkey, even with smaller celebrations.
And smaller turkeys, right?
Amen to that.
So very quickly, I'd like to know, how do you and your families plan to spend the Thanksgiving holiday?
It's funny you asked, Dan. Last week, actually, I was uninvited for my extended family's Thanksgiving due to COVID. So I will be at home, just my mom and my dad and my sisters, enjoying a small turkey and whatever Thanksgiving sides we can figure out how to make.
You know what? I was disinvited by my own mother. I get it. I understand. And Logan, how about you?
I am going to be enjoying the day off and might try to whip up a Thanksgiving meal myself, but I won't be with family. Might go to a local friend's house so that I can stay contained.
Kind of a safe and healthy Friendsgiving.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Great. Well, glad to hear it. Well, speaking of which, our episode today is based on a recent report from 8451 called Consumer Perception on Returning to Normal and Its Impact on the Upcoming Holidays. I had to cheat and actually read from my sheet on that one. Erica, can you give us a little background on this report? Yeah,
for sure. So Logan actually put this report together for all of 8451's clients to give them some insight into what we think is coming this holiday season, as we head into a holiday season unlike anyone's ever seen. But it's based off work that my team does. And it's actually part of a broader COVID pulse. So it's a biweekly survey that my team puts out to like 400 people, focuses on both how people are feeling about COVID, how worried they are, as well as whatever topics we think are of interest. So about like a month and a half ago, we put a segment out on Thanksgiving and some of the other holidays just to see what people were thinking about, how they're planning to celebrate, get an idea of what to expect during this unexpected year.
And that report, Erica, that was done just for general purposes, right? For 8451 specific purposes, right?
Yep.
Do you guys do reports like that for specific clients as well?
Yeah, we're happy to. There's actually a whole half of my team called the product team, and they are happy to talk to account managers and different clients and work with them to figure out both what would work best for them and what they're interested in and kind of make that happen.
So if I'm a brand on the shelf at Kroger, you could create a report for me.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, good to know. And so in a nutshell, Logan, what are consumers' perceptions about the current new normal? How have you noticed this perception evolving since the outbreak?
Yeah, definitely. So for the first time in late September, since mid-July, more people actually thought life would return to normal in 6 to 12 months versus longer than 12 months. So we were getting really excited there. That consumer perception was shifting to be a little bit of a shorter time frame, but that changed really quickly again. And by early October, consumer perception shifted, where currently more people think that it will be over a year until life returns to normal. But what we do know, and what's held pretty consistent, is that the majority of consumers, about the low 80%, anticipate staying in the new normal for at least 6 months. So that puts us about May of 2021, which is 6 months out from now. And 6 to 12 months, we'll see what that is. But a lot of people are thinking at least 6 months in this new normal we're in.
So right about when spring arises and everything blooms anew, right? We hope to be beyond this COVID new world, correct?
Let's hope so.
Fingers crossed, right? Fingers crossed, we hope. All right, well, good. And the big question on a lot of people's minds, especially this time of year, is do you have insights that might suggest how people are planning to celebrate Thanksgiving this year while we're still in the new normal?
Yeah, definitely. So I think one of the biggest things that's going to happen is that people are planning to celebrate smaller celebrations, just trying to limit the spread of COVID. So I think it's 44% of people are actually planning to only celebrate with those in their immediate household. So given that people are celebrating instead of at their extended family's house, instead of going to grandma's, they're cooking on their own, there's going to be a lot of first-time hosts there who are trying to maintain those family traditions and recreate those family recipes without actually the expertise of whoever usually makes them. So they're looking both to like family and also to support of brands of how not only to keep these traditions alive, but also how to downsize those recipes because you no longer need to feed 10 to 20 people. You'll need to feed 4 to 6. So as people are looking for those smaller, more restricted celebrations, I saw a quote from somebody and it actually said that this year they expect to have a lot less hugging and a lot more hand sanitizer. It up, yeah.
Well, that's a shame. I mean, everyone looks forward to the hugs on Thanksgiving, and I'm sure nothing's going to change when it comes to watching football and hanging out on the sofa, right?
Right.
All right, well, good. And Logan, besides the desire to maintain small groups and safe social distancing, what are the factors affecting holiday plans this year?
Well, we know that, a lot of people were impacted by COVID-19 in terms of job losses. Mm-hmm. And while there has been some rebounds, I just read from the Bureau of Labor Statistics that, it's double the unemployment numbers that we were at in February. So even though it's rebounding, there's still a lot of people impacted. And even those recovering are coming back potentially from those job losses. So we know spending money is a big concern. And we do know that a lot of consumers are planning to spend the same or less this year versus last year.
Gotcha. Are there any other nuances that our listeners and viewers might like to hear about, how that might help them in their approach to this new normal Thanksgiving and the holidays beyond?
Yeah, so absolutely. With those tighter budget constraints that a lot of consumers might be facing, it's really looking to provide the most value for those consumers. So how can they stretch what they're purchasing for Thanksgiving? How are we ensuring great value in those offerings?
Gotcha. And then for Kroger in particular, how do you expect technology to impact how consumers will shop for the holiday season coming up?
Yeah, so we summed it up just in the terms of looking at things being earlier and also online. Mm-hmm. For half of shoppers this year are trying to limit the amount of time they spend in store. Just given that the holidays are a really busy time already and people trying to avoid being around other people this year. So people are trying to spread that out, maybe start earlier than they normally would to avoid those crowds. But also there's a big push towards online this year. So even on the Kroger app, being able to do pickup and delivery just like you would start your list or whatever on there. You can now do that instead. With COVID in general, we've seen a huge push towards e-commerce. And with the holidays coming up, that's a lot easier and also a safer way to get your groceries. So we expect to see a lot of that.
Okay, great. And then how are retailers and CPGs planning to compensate for the changes in holiday spending?
So I was thinking, some of the ways that the CPGs are planning to compensate for those changes in spend are to really think through how people are celebrating. So I know Erica mentioned earlier, people are planning to celebrate with fewer people in home. So if you're not going to your typical host's house who has all of the bakeware and cookware, right? CPGs should be thinking about how can they equip new hosts with what they need to prepare a meal or educate new hosts on how to cook or different recipes that they can utilize if their typical host isn't going to be the one doing that.
So be a provider of and a resource for information on how to cope with the new normal over Thanksgiving and the holidays, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's good to know. And back to the insights themselves. Erica, do the insights just affect Thanksgiving, or are you expecting to see the same impacts on other winter holidays? We kind of talked about the shopping for Thanksgiving, but what about as we get into again, Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah? What about the overall winter holidays? How are we going to see COVID and the new normal impact those?
Yeah, so it's hard to say exactly just based off how fast things are changing, even as we see right now, case counts rising so quickly. But we expect these predictions to hold for the winter holidays as well. We even use some of these insights for planning. So just like the smaller celebrations, the fewer people, maybe postponing celebrations or doing them virtually as well. In terms of holiday shopping, like Black Friday, I know is usually a giant day for Christmas shopping and other holiday shopping.
Mm-hmm.
We expect that to be online this year. Certainly, you're not going to go to Best Buy and see someone pushing someone else over for a TV just because you don't want to touch other people. But
right. Or their TVs, right?
Yeah. So, but we expect to see it online again. A lot of retailers are actually pushing deals online and spreading them out. So you'll see like days of deals at different retailers where one day one category might be on sale and another day another category might be on sale. So I think different retailers are handling it differently. But we definitely do expect these trends to carry over into the winter holidays.
And I'm trying to think beyond the holidays. I know earlier in today's segment, we talked about that 80% that believe the new normal will continue through May, basically, of 2021, right? I know I wasn't planning on asking this question, but I'm just curious. Do you have any thoughts on how consumer behavior and shopping will change for those special occasions, even after that vaccine's in place, even after the new normal has kind of solidified and leveled out, to some degree?
So we're actually doing a lot of work ourselves with that question right now, just to look at it. But right now, our hypotheses are kind of around that COVID, as horrible as it is, has made a lot of people realize how special family times are and those special moments are. So there might be a push towards like more like smaller celebrations, trying to make things more special, as well as really focusing on what we can celebrate. So we think that it's going to take a while for people to want to get back in big crowds, even once there is a vaccine, based on the fact that not everyone's going to have it. And there's a lot of uncertainty around it as well. So even through next year, we expect to see like some of the same like slower, smaller celebrations and people really trying to celebrate the little moments of life.
Gotcha.
Logan, I don't know if I don't know that there.
Okay, that's good to know. And Logan, along those lines, how are you at 8451 working with CPGs or other teams within 8451 to develop strategies for upcoming holidays or those special occasions beyond the holidays?
Yeah, so we have teams at 8451 partnering daily with CPGs to monitor trends in Stratum. So they can look at how shoppers are behaving with a lot of speed and granularity and use it as an opportunity to learn a lot. We're almost seeing Thanksgiving time period as a litmus test for these winter holidays, right? It's the first one really centered around food, family, typically. So we're going to be taking a lot of learnings from Thanksgiving and projecting that out with how it can impact future winter holidays. Beyond that, I know people are working with the CPGs to make sure the assortment mix and inventory are right for the holidays, as well for some further out strategies in terms of long-term innovation, depending how long this is going to last. What do our products need to look like in the future? What are the use cases of our products and how is that changing over time? So a lot of different use cases in terms of how we're using our data to help inform CPG strategies.
Okay, great. And so does that mean that after the holidays, after Thanksgiving and the winter holidays, 8451 and Stratum will be creating a revised consumer perception on returning to normal and its impact on the upcoming holidays report?
We may put a perspective out, but we will definitely at least be working with CPGs to answer their business questions. Look to assess what happened over the holidays. How can this inform future trends? So to be determined on whether we'll be publishing anything out for broad audiences, but of course we can always do those custom work in-house. So
Great. All right. Well, we look forward to seeing whatever you come out with and whatever new insights or updates to today's insights you guys are able to share. Well, now I really appreciate both of you joining us today and the insights and information that you provided. But it is now time for the 8451 lightning round, where we ask you a series of 8 random questions for 51 seconds. Logan and Erica, are you ready?
I can't wait.
Good. I love the anticipation. All right. The excitement. Well, I've got my handy dandy stopwatch ready, so I'm gonna dive in. Okay. Here we go. Erica, which is the better Thanksgiving side dish, mashed potatoes or stuffing?
Obviously stuffing.
Oh, them's fighting words. Logan, what athletic achievement are you most proud of?
While on the Alabama women's rowing team, I was a 2-year co-captain and had the fastest time for my junior and senior year.
Wow, congratulations. Very cool. Erica, what 3 words describe you most accurately?
Spontaneous, lighthearted, and inclusive.
I like it. Logan, what is one new skill you're trying to learn?
I am actually trying to learn how to fly planes right now.
Oh my gosh, so cool. Erica, what is the most adventurous thing you've ever done?
I think parasailing in the New Zealand Alps.
You guys are amazing. Logan, what is your favorite song?
I really like the song Granny by Dave Matthews Band.
Erica, what is your favorite place to go out to eat?
Easy answer, Olive Garden all the way.
Breadsticks. Logan, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dessert?
Pumpkin pie, of course.
Of course. 52.47. Dang, you know what? I'm gonna give us a pass because I couldn't help but interject a couple times that you're really cool answers to these questions. You guys are amazing. I gotta up my game and go hang gliding or something. This is really cool. So congratulations and well done, guys. We really appreciate you being on today's podcast episode, all the great insights you're sharing, and all the great work you and your teams are doing, and looking forward to seeing more of those insights into 2021. Our thanks to Erica Penrose and Logan O'Neill for being our guests today. Of course, if you enjoyed today's episode, as always, please remember to subscribe, to share it with your networks. I'm your host, Dan O'Keefe. On behalf of 8451 and everyone involved with the upload, I'd like to wish Erica, Logan, and everyone a very happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you next time on The Upload.
Millen here. That's it for this month's episode of The Upload. We hope you enjoyed it and hopefully learned something new. Remember to give us a like and share your feedback. Until next month, stay curious.